Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, let's see. Let's just give it a few minutes.
Courtney. Hi, Haley.
Okay, so we had 48 join or register for the workshop today, which is fantastic. So we'll just give it a few minutes to see who else is going to join us today before we begin. But as you're waiting, allow yourself to just relax into where you are. Settle into your seat. Oh, I've got goosebumps coming all over me already. And just set, yourself an intention to receive what you're meant to receive from today's session. We are, of course, going to be talking about Mt.Shasta significantly a lot today because it's one of the greatest things that I've ever done is visiting. So being able to talk about it and talk about Mt.Shasta with Cheryl is an absolute gift. So very, 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 very excited to share.
Yeah, Mt.Shasta is just so magical.
Yeah, absolutely. So magical. All right, so who have we got here? We've got Megan, I think, Courtney. Hi, Courtney. And Haley. Hi, Haley. Yeah, so great to see you here. And then we've got, what's here? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. We'll just give it another minute or so and see if anyone else will join this morning. Ooh, if
While
not,
we're waiting, if you want to just put in the chat where you're from, like where you're tuning in from, love to see that.
well, I know Courtney is from my city, Canberra. Yay.
Oh.
And then we've got Haley from the Gold Coast. So great to see you, Haley. Okay. Yay. Haley's from the Gold Coast, one of my favorite cities to visit. I've met up with Haley there once before. So that was a couple of years ago. I can't believe how long ago that was, Haley. A little while back. All right. Now, if you haven't noticed, Cheryl and I are wearing our beautiful crowns that were handmade in Mt.Shasta. And we found this lady on the last day of our last retreat, last October, last year in October, I should say. And we ran around and begged her. We were trying to find her number for days because we wanted crowns made. And it was my crown, wasn't it, that she made overnight?
Yours, yeah.
Yeah, she made my crown overnight because I was so desperate to get one. And I'm just so happy. I'm wearing it now and I can feel the energy of Mt.Shasta pulsing into the crown chakra of my head. It's so great.
She's a local artisan in Mt.Shasta, and she was doing like a craft fair. And somebody that was with us went to the craft fair and came back with a crown. We're like, we want one.
It's so great. And yeah, they are divine. Thank you, Haley. They are wonderful. And they just fit so nicely. And I can feel mine already getting really warm. I mean, I know like I'm wearing it, and of course it's going to get warm, but like it feels like it's pulsating. It's so great. I love it.
And they're happy to see each other again. Yours and mine. I said they're happy to see each other again.
Yeah, exactly. They're sending frequencies. So for those of you who don't know, Cheryl is based in New Jersey, all the way over in the US, and I'm here in Canberra, Australia. And we're here. We met a couple of years ago we met a couple of years ago. Cheryl started working with me, and then I began working with Cheryl. And then we really, really connected when we met face-to-face for the first time in June 2024 when she hosted her first Mt.Shasta Retreat. And we spent, I think it was close to 8-9 days together.
Yeah,
that
you
first
came
round.
back here with me.
That was in October.
Oh, okay.
The first time we went to Sedona afterwards,
right,
as well, and we just connected. We hit it off. By the time we finished our trip at Sedona that first time, we were already talking about hosting our retreat. And then a few days after I had returned back to Australia, she messaged me and said, "Are you ready? Let's do a retreat in October." I was like, "Oh my God, I was about to message you and ask for the same thing." And so 3 months later, I had returned. Well, 3.5 months later, I'd returned and we hosted our first retreat, which was amazing. All right, so let's get started. If anyone else joins, they do. If not, they will see the replay, which is fantastic.
I just want to make sure I don't have any messages. Do you want to just check in case anybody's
having
having
I don't think I've got any.
Okay.
No, I've got nothing.
Okay.
Amazing. All right, so let me just share the screen here. All right, and you can all see that?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So again, welcome. We're so grateful, Cheryl and I. Oh, I just admit.
Oh, I let her in.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you. So Cheryl and I, we're so grateful that you're here with us tonight. And I want you to know that something has definitely called you to this space today. Maybe it was a whisper. Hi, welcome. Maybe it was a pull you couldn't ignore. Maybe there was a deep knowing that you wouldn't let go. Like, I've got goosebumps as I say this. And so before I go any further, if you receive goosebumps, little inner knowings, lots of yeses, and you feel even your body language being pulled into your screen, trust those little inklings, because that's your intuition calling you. All right. And I want you to notice how often it's appearing. I've already started. Like, I couldn't sleep. I woke up at 5:30 because I was so excited for this. All right. So whatever you feel, whatever your thoughts are around this presentation tonight, I want you to honor it, because that's the curiosity of your intuition nudging you gently. Your intuition is like poking you and asking you to honor the courage to say yes to being here today, the courage to considering why Mt.Shasta is calling you. Okay. And of course, Cheryl and I both honor you for honoring the call today. Okay.
Can I just ask, has anybody felt the pull before tonight about Mt.Shasta? Like, has Mt.Shasta been calling you? Because it really is a calling. So if you could just put in the chat, like, one, have you heard of Mt.Shasta, or have you had the pull to like explore more, or dive deeply, or visit this sacred land? I would love to know.
Yeah, that's perfect, because on that, I just want to share that I had the pull towards Mt.Shasta for years. So we've already done that, and I'm sorry. I start talking before I start moving the slides. So yes, we've already done the welcome. I apologize. And now we're going to talk about me for a moment. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Samantha Calvani. I have spent 20 years in the corporate world before my spiritual awakening cracked me wide open and showed me there was another way. Over the last 15 years, I have trained my skills, or my skills have trained me, my intuition has trained me, I should say, so that I'm now a master quantum healer. I am also a galactic channel. I bridge business and intuition together. And I work with women who are ready to remember who they truly are. This is one of the greatest gifts I've ever received in helping women understand who they are beyond the conditioning, beyond their own limitations, beyond what they've been told is possible. As I mentioned earlier, Mount Shasta has called me for years. And I have been lucky enough to visit her vortex twice in 2024. Each journey peeled back another layer. It activated another code. It showed me more of what's possible when we reclaim our feminine power in sacred space. And it's such a gift to be able to do that and to be held in such a vortex. I can't begin to describe how it feels to just know that you are so safe in Mount Shasta's presence, to let go of the layers that have been holding you back in some way, shape, or form. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But now I'm going to introduce Cheryl. As we mentioned, Cheryl and I have been working together for a number of years. And over to you, Cheryl.
Oh, well, first I just want to welcome everybody from the bottom of my heart. Shasta has a very special place in my heart. For those of you who don't know me, I am Cheryl Kasper. I am a master sound healer, a frequency alchemist, and I'm also a clinical therapist. So I blend the science and spirituality in with frequency and sound, and you'll get a little taste of the sound frequencies later when we go on a little activation journey to Mount Shasta. And like Sam said, I met Sam, I don't even know, probably at least 5 years ago. I started working with her one-to-one, and then she started working with me. We've been each other's clients. And then I've been to Mount Shasta. This would be my 5th time. I've been 4 times. I attended a retreat there. I hosted 2 or 3 retreats, and then I'll do this one. So this will be my 2nd one with Sam. I just want to tell a little bit about the potency of Mount Shasta. And I first heard of Mount Shasta when I was hosting a retreat in Sedona, and I never heard of Mount Shasta before. It was not in my wheelhouse. I had no idea where it was. I thought it was in Washington State. And somebody that was on the retreat with me said, "You really should visit Mount Shasta." And I'm like, didn't know anything about it. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. I put it in the back of my mind. And when the retreat was over in Sedona, I was shopping in some crystal shops. And I was really drawn to buying some Lemurian crystals. And I picked up, I have them with me because I love them so much. They sit by me. This is one of them. I picked up this Lemurian crystal in the shop and I started crying. And I'm like, what is going on? Why am I crying? I turned to my friend Kat and I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. These crystals. Look at this one. I got to just show you this one. This one's like calling, hey, what about me? So I am very much into Lemurian crystals. So I wound up getting 4 of them. One had rainbow in it. One had butterflies in it. One just had so if you know anything about Lemurian crystals, they have records. And I didn't know anything about this at the time, but they had these ridges in them. So I bought these 4 crystals. The next day, I went to get a service. I went to get like a shaman Reiki session in Sedona. And I walked in and the shaman looks at me and he gets right in my face and he turns sideways and he says to me, Cheryl, it's nice to see you again. Now I'm a little freaked out because I've never met this man before. And the first thing he says to me is, tell me what you know about Lemuria. And I really didn't know anything about Lemuria, I said, I don't know anything about Lumeria, but I bought these Lumerian crystals. And for some reason, I started crying. And he said, yes, you buried those crystals when Lumeria went under. And he was the crystal keeper at the time. And he goes on to tell me that I have to go visit Mount Shasta. And I'm like, what? And that Mount Shasta, Sedona is the ley line for Mount Shasta. And underneath Mount Shasta is Telos, the land, the lost land of Lemuria. So this is all coming together for me. And my mind is blown. So on the way home, I order oracle cards about Lemuria. I ordered books about Lemuria. I get home. The oracle cards are waiting for me. The first card I picked was Mount Shasta. I'm like, I gotta go. So that's my story of how I found Mount Shasta. And when I went to retreat there, when I went on the land, when I was driving and I saw her beauty way in the background, I just started crying. It is a calling. And Mount Shasta is not for everybody because the energy is so potent. It's where you go to really do the deep work, and you give the wounds, the beliefs, like everything that's no longer serving you, you just give it back to Mother Earth, to Mama Shasta, where she alchemizes and transmutes it. And I've had divine downloads and healings that have just happened being on the land. I created my own method, frequency mapping, from downloads from Mount Shasta. So it's just a purely magical, sacred space. It's the root chakra of Earth. And I know you're going to talk about that a little bit later, but although it's the root chakra of Earth and you would think it's very grounding, which it is, it's also very elevating. It really is where heaven and earth meet in the 5D. It really is. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I've been a sound healer in this lifetime and many other lifetimes. Sam was with me when we were at a couple of waterfalls, sacred waterfalls in Mount Shasta. A couple of them had these caves, and I just knew, like, those were my caves. Those were caves where in a past life I was in, and I would sing and use the frequency of my voice, and it would reverberate off of the walls of the cave, and people would be lying on the ground in the cave, and would be my healing. It's my medicine. Like, I'm getting goosebumps as I talk. Like, it's just magical. So you are all here for a reason. Something drew you in. Listen to that calling, because like I said, Mount Shasta does not call everybody. It calls the right person at the right time.
100%. 100%. And, I read about Mount Shasta probably maybe 10, 11 years ago. I had heard about it. I had heard about the magic and the presence and what unlocks there, and the connection to spirit when you're there. And that had always drawn me in, but no opportunity had ever presented itself for me to actually make my way over there until I saw you present, open up the doorways for the retreat that you held in June last year. So that was my opportunity. It was an instant yes. And so if you're already feeling that instant yes, honor it. Go inside your heart and go, is this instant yes something? Am I already being drawn to this? Just, and feel into it. That's what we really want you to do. Yeah. All right. So, Cheryl, did you want to open up space for everybody today?
I do. Yeah. So before we go any deeper, I just want to create our sacred space together. And just know what we share here stays here. This is a sacred container, confidential space. And we're going to honor all experiences without judgment. We would love to hear, from you later on, what's calling you. So if you want to just get comfortable, I'm just gonna I'm not gonna play the bowls right now because I am gonna play them later, but they do want to introduce themselves to you. They've got a consciousness and a mind of their own. Um, so if you feel comfortable, you can just put your hand on your heart, your hand on your womb space, and just give yourself permission to fully receive tonight. You're going to be having two powerful activations by me and Sam tonight. So just honor that. And with your hands on your heart, just take a deep breath in. And release. Breathing into your womb space, your sacral center. And just feel your feet connecting to the earth beneath you. Just allow this grounding to take place. And take another deep breath in. And an open mouth exhale. Bringing your shoulders down. Unlocking your jaw. And just softening your body. Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cheryl. That was beautiful. And those crystal bowls, they're amazing. They're amazing. All right. So
they are from Mt.Shasta, all of them that I'm playing tonight are all from Mt.Shasta. So they're carrying that energy.
Yeah, that's been amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. So today, this is what we're going to experience. We've already welcomed you and we've opened space. We're going to talk about the problem, the shackles versus the blocks that you may feel in general in your life. Then you'll receive a frequency activation with Cheryl. Soon you will receive, or not shortly after that, or straight after, I should say, you'll receive a Galactic Priestess transmission with me. And then we'll have an integration and sharing. And then we will talk to you about the Inner Temple Retreat, and then open up space for Q&A if we need to. So we'll just do that. So that's amazing. Most of you will have done all the healing, right? You've done all the healing work. You've done therapy, you've done inner child work, you've done somatic healing, you've done breathwork ceremonies. Maybe you've even done some plant medicine. You've done other retreats, other courses, other certifications. And still, something feels a little incomplete. Yeah? Who knows who I'm talking about? Yeah, Cheryl, I know what I'm talking about because I've done it. I've been there. Okay. And if you are resonating with those words and those messages and going, yeah, that's me, then I want you to know that sometimes it's not necessarily a block. Okay. What if it's a shackle? What if it's an energetic shackle? All right. So a block will imply that something is wrong with you. And I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you, but it will imply that there is something that you need to fix, that there is something possibly broken. But a shackle, an energetic shackle is something that was put on you. Maybe it was an ancestral chain from your matriarchal line. Maybe it was the shackle of feminine oppression that was encoded into your cellular memory. Maybe there's witch wounds from the burning times that were focused on silencing, that were focused on suppression. Maybe there's also patriarchal programming that's been buried so deep you don't even know it's there. Yeah, Michelle in the comments, mother trucker shackles. That's exactly what it is, right? But I want you to know that you're not broken and you're definitely not damaged. You're just encoded with ancient wisdom that got buried, and it's time to set that part of yourself free. Okay. Now, I want to talk to you briefly about this. So actually, just yesterday, a client of mine who is already agreed to come to Mt.Shasta. I was doing a session with her yesterday, and I tuned into her energetic field. And I was being drawn to her throat chakra. And I kept looking at her throat chakra going, what's happening here? And so I tuned in even deeper. And I had found a thread, a tiny thread, maybe like that, okay, that was energetically wrapped around her throat, wrapped behind and through her spinal column, and tied back to a past life where she was a witch, but she was a white witch, and she was in a coven of dark witches. And these dark witches had put this cord to slow her down from receiving and honoring her gifts in their highest capacity. That is not a block. That is a shackle. It's an energetic shackle, and it was holding her back and suppressing, interfering with the block, well, not the block, interfering with her fullest capacity in her throat chakra. She wasn't broken because she's accessed her gifts. She's a wonderful healer. She's definitely not damaged because, you know, she's charging ahead. She's not letting the things of her past hold her back. But that ancient wisdom that she had has been buried, and had been buried on purpose by feminine oppression. The sisterhood wounding. It's a real thing. And that's also why Cheryl and I have come together, because we've come together to break the sisterhood wounding. So, what do? You don't necessarily need more healing, even though that is so important, but you need reclamation. You need to release what's not yours, the patterns, the programming, releasing the ancestral weight that was never yours to carry. You also need to remember who you are before the conditioning, before the fear, before you learned to make yourself small. And in order for that to happen, you need to reclaim your feminine power, your intuition, your wisdom, your sovereignty. Because this is the difference between surface healing and deep transformation. And of course, today we're going to give you a small reclamation, a taste of what that reclamation looks and feels like. But before I move on, I just want to know, is this landing? Is this resonating? And if it is, yeah, Michelle, yes, that's fantastic. Yeah. Because if it is, I want you to take note of that. In Mt.Shasta, I reclaimed. Yeah, you were a witch too, exactly. Yeah. I reclaimed, oh, goosebumps as I tuned into your energy quickly, Michelle. oh, yeah, I can feel that. I will honestly say that when I went to Mt.Shasta, the amount of layers that had peeled off me was significant. Like, I remember laying in the middle of the river at Lion's Head, like sobbing as layers and layers were being peeled back, and those layers were being washed away. The experience itself was healing. But what I was doing in those moments was reclaiming the essence of my spirit, the essence of my feminine energy prior to the conditioning. I didn't need to do any specific, deep work to understand it, but the intention to reclaim was so strong and so powerful that it just happened naturally. And that is the power of Mt.Shasta.
That's what happened with me. I reclaimed that I'm a frequency alchemist. I reclaimed that I work with frequency. When I saw those caves and I knew that I sang in those caves, it was like coming home. Like I was crying, but happy tears, because I remembered. My soul remembered being there. My soul remembered singing in those caves. My soul remembered healing people in those caves.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I also want to point out, if you can go back to the slides, I want you to look at the photos that we put on those slides, because these are codes. These are all activation codes. Like these colors, these were taken with our cell phone. This is not edited. This is from our phones. And every photo that we have these codes. Like the land just codes you. Lemurian codes, Arcturian codes, all different kinds of codes. The dragon, actually that was taken where the dragons were.
Yeah.
Right. We had dragons. I was doing a sound bath in one of the portals, and we heard this clicking. Everybody heard it during the sound bath. And then Sam's like, during the sound bath, there was a unicorn that licked her face. I mean, where on earth do you see, are we amongst the elementals? I've got fairies in my videos. Like, we really are in the 5D here. If you want to go back to the one right before that, Sam, with the picture of the group, this is our group.
Yeah, this is our group last year in November.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I want to point out, so when you see the purple hues, that is Saint Germain's violet flame in pouring down over the group. And when you see the bubbles, they represent different frequencies. So I'll just go forward. The yellow frequency, or the yellow bubble over Cheryl's hand, is a Lemurian bubble, a Lemurian code. And you can see like the frequencies of Saint Germain pouring over her through the purples, right? Is there another photo? Oh, you can see beautiful Mt.Shasta there behind us.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place we go and do a sound bath, and the mountain is just right behind us. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I am going to tell my story of Saint Germain a little later on, because it is in one of the photos, and it's really a powerful story.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you want to tell it now before we go into your frequency activation?
Sure. Do you want to forward to that photo?
Sure. Let me just stop the share for a moment.
So before my very first time going to Mt.Shasta, I was leaving on a Thursday, and I had my one-to-one session with Sam on Monday. And Sam says to me, Cheryl, Saint Germain is coming in. She goes, I haven't worked with Saint Germain too much, but he's coming in and he wants to give you an activation. I didn't know much about Saint Germain either. I've heard of the violet flame, but that was really it. So she did the activation, Saint Germain activation with me. I kind of felt like some energy moving. I go on my retreat, and I was an attendee. This is my first time going. So I attended a retreat, didn't know anybody there. And a couple days into the retreat, we're in a portal and we're doing an activation. And nobody knows my story. Nobody knows this. Nobody knows me. And the guy that was running the activation looks at me and says, "Can you go stand over by those trees over there?" So I'm like, "Okay." So I go stand over by the trees, and he says, "I want you to feel the energy of Saint Germain around you." So I'm like, "Okay." I'm standing there. I'm calling in Saint Germain. I'm feeling the energy. And then after a couple minutes, I put my arms up like this. Like I just felt like it just coming through my body. And he calls me over and he says, "Look," and he shows his camera, and that is a picture from his camera. That is me in the violet flame. And I've been working with Saint Germain. I got goosebumps. I've been working with Saint Germain ever since.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Yeah.
And he did not ask anybody else, only me. Like, how would he have known?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. You can't, I'm telling you, listen, you're all here for a reason. So I can tell these stories, but if I'm sitting and having dinner with my friends, they're going to think I'm batshit crazy, right? Like, but this is the magic that happens on Mount Shasta. Sam and I can explain it, but you have to experience it. It is an experience. It is things happen there that you just can't explain.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
I mean, imagine going home and telling your friends that a unicorn licked your face while you were in meditation. Like, what? It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh, I've just like thrown my head back and just like,
I have
yeah,
fairies.
imagine.
I have fairies that are flying around. Like you see their wings flying. Like,
yeah, it's
it's
incredible.
magical.
Like there's so many stories that are just like so out of this world that it just blows your mind. It absolutely 1000% blows your mind. Yeah.
And I would love for all of you to experience this with us. I really would.
Like it, and this is the thing. Spiritual development is so important. It's important to attend retreats and experiences like this to deepen the commitment you have to the development of your spirit. It's important. I didn't realize how profound being held not only in the retreat space but in spiritual places around the world is. I've been to Egypt. I've attended retreats there. I've hosted a retreat in Egypt. It is absolutely incredible. I've been to Bali. I've been to spiritual places here in Australia. I've experienced spirit in some of the most incredible places around the world, in retreats and on my own. And that spiritual development accelerates when you're in such sacred spaces. The experiences sometimes are honestly not meant to even be shared amongst the normal population, like everyone else, I mean, right? Because people aren't ready to hear it. But when you find that sisterhood, Cheryl and I share such a beautiful relationship because of our joint experiences, because of our skills. Yeah, we're not normal. That's right, Michelle. We're not. we're our unique breed of human. But when you experience the beauty of this in sacred spaces with other people, with other women, oh, the magic that unfolds is just there's no words for it. Honestly, there's no words.
And even just being in the vortex and the energy of Mount Shasta, she's doing her magic. You don't have to do anything. You're there. You're receiving her energy. My spiritual expansion and evolution, Sam knew me before, and I'm like, oh, I can't talk about those things. I'm a therapist. Like, I'm like, no, I gotta, right, keep it quiet, right?
Mm.
But Mount Shasta allowed me to really step into my spirituality. It helped me step into my gifts, my medicine,
Mm.
the sound, the frequency, and I'm owning it. I'm owning it now, and I've merged the science and spirituality. I've merged the clinical therapy and the woo woo ness, whatever you want to call it. I've merged them, and I feel free. I feel authentic, I should say. I feel authentic, right? Um,
And that's such a gift when
yeah.
you're able to, as a woman, integrate all parts of yourself and embrace your authenticity at new levels. Because, excuse my language, you get to the energy where you become or you hold the frequency of, and from a genuine place as well, of I no longer give a fuck in the best way possible.
Mhm.
Because you are you in your wholeness, you are holding yourself at a higher standard that no one can mess with you. And if they do, you're just like, you know what, I'll deal with this. I may be hurt by this, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck because the right people will always be drawn to me. Because humans, we're one of the most traumatic races on the earth. Well, we are the only traumatic race on the earth, right? And when you can genuinely hold yourself to such high standards, your life changes for the better. You become way more abundant, way more prosperous, but not just in the financial aspects, abundance in love, prosperous in friendships. I have such beautiful friendships around me because I elevated. My authenticity is so strong. People are drawn to me, and it's only the right people. Yeah. Anyway, we could talk about this for hours.
So I want to introduce you to somebody before we go into the activation. I promise I'm going to go into the activation. And some of you have met her when you've done a frequency map with me or on social media. This is Shasta. Look how beautiful she is.
Yeah.
So Shasta has a story. The first time I went to the first time I went to Mount Shasta, she was in a beautiful, I don't even know what like a jewelry store that sold crystals, high end. She got her pendant there, high end, and I saw this pendulum, and I fell in love with it. It's got 6 blue topaz around it. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah, and I picked her up and I said, are you ready to come home, or would you like to come home with me? And it swung no. I'm like, what? I tried it again. No, like a hard no, like no. And I'm like, all right. Second time I go back into the same jewelry store. Now I've bought things in there before the first time, so they remembered me. It's small, and they're like, "Oh, you came back for the pendulum. Go back in. Are you ready to come home with me now?" No, hard no. I'm like, what? They were shocked. They're like, we've never seen anything like this. My third time there, I said, I am not coming home without that pendulum. She was still there. I asked her, no. It was a no again. I kid you not. You were there with me when she said no.
I was.
So
Yes.
my fourth time, which was in May, this past May, I go back. And at this time, I was creating a new modality, and I wasn't sure. This was frequency mapping. I wasn't sure exactly like what it looked like or whatever. So I go back in the store. They're like, "Oh, you're back for the pendulum." I'm like, "Yes." I picked it up. I said, "Are you ready to come home with me now?" She swung yes. I thought she was going to go flying across the room. They all cheered. They all cheered because she waited for me to create frequency mapping that was downloaded to me at Mount Shasta, because she is what I use to do the mapping.
Mm.
So Real, true story.
Yeah.
True story. Yeah, you
Yeah.
love that.
And I
Isn't
bought
that
this
great,
the second
Michelle?
time. The second
What?
time. It has amethyst, topaz, and the green stone epidote, I think it is. And of course, clear quartz. And I was drawn to this again the first time as well, and it was a no, and I just couldn't really make a decision. And then the second time I saw it, I was like, this is coming home with me. And it sits there, and this one protects my heart. It shows me, because I work with the angelic realms quite strongly, and you can see the angelic wings there. So I have quite a number of angelic frequencies around me. Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, Raphael standing behind me right now, actually hilarious. And this consciously helps me remember, because in our humanness we can forget, but it helps me remember that I'm divinely protected. And I can feel the presence of this energy protecting my heart, not against love, but against lower vibrations, keeping my heart open and protected at the same time. It's a gift. It's an absolute gift. So, we will, in Mt.Shasta, we do have time to go shopping, which is one of my favorite days. But anyway, let's go into the activation.
All right. We could talk for hours on this.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Actually, rub your hands together. Rub your hands together. Just feel that energy. Feel that heat. And then if you're called to, if you want to put one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb space, and start by, you can close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale. And long, slow exhale. And just settle in. There's nothing you need to do but receive. Mt.Shasta exists simultaneously in dimensions, and so do you. We're simply going to shift which layer that you're tuned to. So imagine now that your feet are becoming gently magnetized. Roots extending downward through the floor, deep into the earth. And as those roots descend, they enter a living field. Not soil, but consciousness. You're connecting to the elements of Mt.Shasta, the guardians of the earth, water, fire, and air. These intelligences don't speak in words. They communicate through sensation, vibration, feeling. And notice if your body softens. If your breath deepens. Your system feels held. the Earth's intelligence responding. Now bring your awareness to your heart space. Mount Shasta holds Lemurian energy, a frequency from a time when humans lived in harmony with the earth. When the body was trusted, when intuition was normal, you don't need to remember Lemuria with your mind, because your cells remember. You may feel this as an emotion or a wave of familiarity, or even a quiet sense of coming home. This is not an activation through effort, it's a remembrance through resonance. And as the sound continues, imagine your awareness gently lifting, not leaving your body, but expanding beyond linear time. The fifth dimension isn't a place, it's a state of coherence. It's where the nervous system relaxes, where the heart leads, and separation dissolves. You may notice tingling, a lightness, or a sense of spaciousness around your body. This is your field recalibrating. Now imagine a soft column of light descending from above. Refined, intelligent. Mount Shasta is a bridge point between the earth and the stars. And as that light meets your crown, it travels down your central channel, meeting the earth energy, which is rising up from below. Earth and star, feminine and cosmic, rooted and expanded. This is the frequency Mount Shasta amplifies. Allow these energies to blend with you, to merge with you. Notice what it feels like to be more you without any effort. This is how expansion happens naturally, safely, through coherence. And just stay right here. Let the sounds settle into your body, into your heart, into your field. The earth and your heart are in agreement. And from this place, the veils are thinner. Mount Shasta is not just a mountain. She's magical. She's sacred. She is a bridge between heaven and earth. And when the body is grounded like this, the higher frequencies can meet you gently. So just allow your awareness to soften upward, as if the sky is listening. And now Sam will guide you into the galactic priestess frequency.
Allow yourself to stay right here. Your body is grounded. Your heart is open. And the mountain is holding you. We go higher now. And not by leaving your body, but by remembering what your body has always known. I now call in the highest frequencies of light, the Galactic Council of Light, the Councils of Lyra, Sirius, the Pleiades, Andromeda, and all star nations who have held humanity in love across time. I call in Isis, Mary Magdalene, the priestesses of Lemuria, the keepers of the womb mysteries, the ones who walked before us. And I call in your higher self, that part of you that exists beyond this lifetime. The part of you that remembers everything. We create a field of diamond light around this space, a container of the highest love, where only truth may enter, and where only remembrance may occur. Sani ii sikiana, araki sikiana hia, ana ii sikiana, haraki sikiama I, ini sikiana hia, ana sikiakana. Now, imagine before you a doorway made of starlight. This doorway has always been there. You've walked through it in other lifetimes. Your cells recognize it. Behind this door is your inner temple. The sanctuary within you that cannot be touched by the world. The place where your priestess self has been waiting. When you are ready, step through it. Find yourself now in a temple made of crystal and light. You may notice columns of white marble, an altar. Maybe there are symbols that you recognize but cannot name. This is your temple. It has always been yours. Notice what you notice. See what you see. This is your remembrance. And now, from the depths of this temple, walking toward you is a woman. She is radiant. She is powerful. She is ancient. She is you. This is your galactic priestess self. The version of you that existed in the temples of Lemuria. The version that served in the mystery schools of Egypt. The version that carried sacred codes through lifetimes of forgetting, waiting for this moment. Watch her approach. Notice how she moves. Notice what she wears. Notice the light in her eyes. She stops before you now, and she places both hands on either side of your face. She looks into your eyes, and without words, she transmits codes of remembrance, codes of sovereignty, codes of your unique feminine power. Codes of why you're really here. Sahia na I, sikia na hiriki, sikia maana, sikia na I. Sahi sikiara ki sikia na a siki, I amana irikis kiana asaka. Hai kikiana I asikiana I. Allow the codes to land within your body, within your field, as needed. Hai nisikia mahana I. Sani sikiara ki. Akana hia. Sana iana I sikiana hi. Areki sikia mahiana. Auna siki. Aniama. Sani I araki sikiana hiama. Hana I sikiana hia. Hana sikiana hi. Sikiana. Sakiki ki hani I sikiana hiamana I sikia. Breathe. As the codes land, as the codes code and calibrate your field. Now, she reaches behind her and she brings forward a gift, something that is yours, something that you left behind, something you've been looking for without knowing you were looking. It may be an object, a scroll, a key, a crown, or a crystal. It could be a color, a symbol, a word. It may be a feeling that floods your entire body. Receive it now. Let her place it in your hands or your heart or your before she steps back into the light. She speaks a phrase, a message, or a truth that she needs you to remember. Allow yourself to listen, notice, feel, see, or simply receive. What does she say? Let those words anchor into your bones. Be pleased with yourself as you allow yourself to receive in this way. A golden column of white light descends from the highest dimensions, entering your crown chakra at the very top of your head. This is meeting the earth energy that was anchored into your body. Watch as these two streams of light, cosmic and earth, stellar and primal, begin to spiral together beautifully within you. This is the frequency of Mount Shasta, heaven and earth, star and womb meeting in your body. Your body, your field is receiving codes, light codes written in a language older than words, activating your DNA, awakening gifts that have been dormant, remembering why your soul chose this exact lifetime. Sanihi I mikiana, haye sikiara ki siki hiniara ki sikiana, anai sikiana I sikiana hiamu kini sikiana. Ai sikiana hi sikia baraki sikia mani. Aparaki sikia ma. Apakikiana hiama. Sani I araki u siniama. Ana I sikiana hiama. Your priestess self begins to step back now. She doesn't disappear. She merges with you because she is you. There is no separation. The doorway remains. The temple remains. And you can return here at any time. This is your birthright. Allow yourself to feel a crystalline seal forming around your entire field now, locking in these codes, protecting this activation, and allowing the integration to happen gently over hours, days, and weeks ahead. And now it's time to begin to feel your feet again. Notice the surface beneath you, your hands and your feet. The temple fades into your heart, but it is always there. And allow yourself now to just take a slow breath in. And as you exhale, gently move your fingers and your toes, knowing that you're fully grounded, supported, loved, and taken care of by Mother Earth. Take another deep breath in. And as you're breathing out, while moving your toes and your fingers, you can gently open your eyes when you're ready. And coming back into the room. Welcome back. Welcome home, and welcome to remembering who you've always been. Yay. Ooh, that was wow.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it was. It was. So as you're coming back, you can place your hands on your heart if you like, and just be with whatever moved through you. There is nothing to figure out, and there's nothing to understand just yet. But if you have any memories or thoughts, feelings, words, or anything that you want to write down, feel free to do that. But you can also share if you want. Share what you received. And if you're watching the replay, you can email us and share what you received and let us know, because we'd love to hear about it.
If you want to unmute yourself, if you want to share, you can do that. Or if you want to put it into the chat, I'd love to know, like, what did you feel? What were the shifts? What's resonating with you? What are you thinking about? What are you experiencing?
I know that as I was channeling this experience, I got the word fierce. And when my higher self, or my priestess galactic self, looked into my own eyes, I could see this energy of fierceness within her. But it wasn't fierce in a negative way. It was fierce in a strong, empowering way. And that was so eye-opening for me. And she just kept saying, reclaim the fierceness. You are all love. You are always loved, but reclaim the fierceness. So I thought that was pretty profound. We'll see what unfolds. Yeah, it's
Does
pretty.
anybody want to share? Anya.
Okay, so
Oh,
Anya in the chat box, she said she apologizes for not being more interactive, which is totally fine. It is what it is. Her son, unfortunately, has had surgery, so I'm sitting with him in hospital. We're sending him so much love and healing for his recovery. But she also said that that activation was next level. Literally, I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to this all again when we get home. Fantastic. I'm glad it was next level. We'll be looking forward to hearing what you have to say, Anya. And then Michelle, the imagery of a queen sitting on her rose quartz throne came to mind, sitting completely in her divine feminine love and strength. Oh,
love that.
yeah, I love that too. There's so
Beautiful.
much like goosebumps over my body, and I can quickly see that as I tune into my third eye. I can definitely see that. So it's very, 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 very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. Wow. Did you receive any insight, Cheryl, for yourself?
Actually saw myself as this is interesting because I haven't seen this priestess before, but I saw myself um very white, like very,
Mm,
very pale skin and almost white hair. And I was wearing this beautiful, almost like a ice blue gown.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think like that energy that you're tapping into as your like that frequency is starting to emerge because I did a activation healing for another client, and she came out of that and said, and this was probably about 4 days ago, and she actually came out and said, my hair is white and long and healthy, and my skin is as white. It is so white. It is as white as a sheet of paper. I was like, really? She's
Yeah.
like,
I wanted to say that. Like I was white, but like I did. I felt like I was very white. My skin was white. My hair was white, long, beautiful. And then the gift was some kind of a pendant. I couldn't make out what it was, but it was something
mm,
substantial,
yeah.
kind of a pendant. I felt like it was something I wore.
Wow. Man,
Yeah,
maybe on your next trip to Mount Shasta, you'll find it.
maybe. Maybe.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. So,
We have this.
yeah. So,
Oh, thank
imagine,
you, Michelle. And Michelle's got to go.
okay. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. All right. Well, let's imagine 5 days of this. What you've experienced for the last, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes, expanded over 5 days. 5 days at one of the most powerful vortexes on Earth during the summer solstice portal, surrounded by your soul sisters. And I have goosebumps as I say this, and goosebumps are always my way of spirit really connecting with me. Can you imagine what's possible? Can you imagine what's possible? What unfolds when you allow yourself the opportunity to embrace this spiritual journey being held in one of the most powerful places on earth? It's just, I have no words for it. And the idea of not having words for it shows you the power of this. I know it doesn't make sense, but it does. And
I
look,
feel when I'm there, I'm being held in the womb of Mount Shasta or the womb of Earth. Like it's just very nurturing
and protective.
how it's being. Yeah, I'm like going like this. Like I just feel like I'm being held
Mm,
like in that space.
yeah, yeah. And look, another photo of us out on the mountain, the group photo again, just being surrounded. We did an activation just before that. So,
You
okay.
you don't have the slides on.
Oh, I don't have the slides on?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, friends. I thought I did. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So here we are. All right. So why Mount Shasta?
We took that photo actually. We at
Yeah.
nighttime we'll go up to the top
Mm,
as far as we can go, and we just stargaze up there. So that is actually a picture that we took with our cell phones, and you can see all of the stars up there. You can see the Milky Way. It's fantastic.
yeah. So that was the photo. I'm pretty sure I took that one on in October last year. So it was a bit chillier at that time of year, of course. It's fall over in the US. But why Mount Shasta? Well, we've covered that quite a bit. We've explained that Mother Shasta is the root chakra of the earth. She is the divine mother frequency. It is a galactic portal. There are starship sightings at the mountain, and Cheryl and I have both experienced that. I know it sounds batshit crazy, but trust us, it's there. It is a sacred vortex energy. There are Lemurian and fairy realms, which we've also mentioned. And of course, this is where heaven and earth meet. Um, what makes this different from anywhere else? The first thing that comes to my mind is the amount of safety, inner safety that you feel in healing Mother Earth. It's that safety that enables your your growth to occur. Because when you can grow, when you can feel safe in your inner growth and in your development, things change. Your healing, your spiritual development accelerate in ways that you could never possibly imagine. My light language has shifted significantly in 12 months as a result of that. My intuition is stronger than it's ever been as a result. The healing that has taken place, I literally can tune into somebody's field, find it and blink it. I don't need to say or do anything. I can blink my eyes and the problem will be disappeared. That is the strength and the power that I've experienced in my own journeys over at Mount Shasta. What about you, Cheryl?
Definitely more frequency. My light language, like you said, my light language came on before Mount Shasta, but really elevated during each of my travels back to Mount Shasta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also with frequencies, like I can feel frequencies, I can feel energy. I know where people have blocks in their field. And I just know what frequency to use, whether it's a certain bowl or a tuning fork. I just know what frequency to pick up to clear that, to break that distortion up. So, like really, I've really just stepped into my own medicine
Yeah,
as a remembrance, as a soul remembrance.
yeah, so powerful. It's absolutely so, 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 so powerful. All right, so here is your invitation. Cheryl and I, as we've mentioned a few times throughout this session today, is that we are hosting a retreat in Mount Shasta on June 18th to the 22nd of 2026 next year at Mount Shasta. The retreat is called the Inner Temple Feminine Reclamation Retreat. There are only 13 spots, well, 12 now, I think, maybe 11, that are available. And we would love for you to be there and be a part of that. If you have felt the call and you are feeling pulled to this, then I implore you to really, really embrace that pull and see and really tune in. Really tune in and see if this is something that you can make happen for yourself. Okay. So, what are you going to receive when you join this retreat? Well, the experience includes 4 nights and 5 days of luxury accommodation. We are going to have a nourishing, or all meals will be provided, and they will be nourishing and vegan. You will receive a rite of the womb initiation, an unbound somatic release, and water blessing rituals. And what we mean by water blessing rituals, we will go to sacred sites around Mount Shasta and have ceremonies in the water. Now, anyone outside of this vortex will go, that's so weird. What if other people see you? I can guarantee you, and I have seen it, there are hundreds of other people doing this at the same time. One of the retreats in June, we were hosting our spiritual retreat, and then a priest with his group of people came to the water and were being baptized in the same water. So,
As we're all divine feminine, we've got our roses and doing
we're
our light
flowing in
language
our
in the
dresses
water.
in the water and doing light language and moving our hands and dancing. And there's a priest baptizing his people
Talk about
on the other side.
duality.
Duality, very, 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 very true. So, it's very fun and very, very eye-opening. What you will also receive in terms of activations, there will be alchemy sound baths. So what Cheryl just did was just a sample, a small sample of what you'll receive. There will be tuning fork activations. There will be further galactic priestess activations and journeys. We're going to go starship sighting. Starship, how do we say this? Stargazing. That's the word I was looking for.
Stargazing.
Yeah.
And there will definitely 100% be starships.
Yes. That sounds wild, but trust us, it's there and it happens. So what that means is that we go up to the top of the mountain at like, at dark, when it's dark, and we will be sitting under the stars, drinking hot cocoa. No, cacao.
Cacao.
Cacao, not cocoa, cacao, and connecting with our higher selves, connecting with the inner priestess that exists within us, and really just embracing the energy of the stars as we stargaze. So it's going to be really powerful. And of course, on the solstice, we are doing a fire ceremony, which is going to be really, really powerful. We've done that twice, and just amazing. So what do you walk away?
I'm sorry, Sam. We bring in all the elements. We do fire. Obviously, we're on the earth. We
Yeah.
do water in, we go to several different waterfalls and sacred water sites.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring in all of the elements
Yeah.
at the retreat.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What you will walk away with, which is really important, womb initiation complete. So the purpose of that is to release ancestral energy, trauma, past life energy and trauma from the womb that has been carried with you over and over and over again. Why is this so important? The womb is the center of birth, not just physical birth, but the birth of the woman that is, trying to emerge, the birth of ideas, business, creativity. It is the center point of a woman and her femininity. And when it is clear, you are a fierce, bold, beautiful, radiant woman in her power. One who's able to just hold her boundaries with ease, one who can say no, one who can go after what she wants because she feels that she actually can. That is why we do that work. Again, you will be walking away with ancestral patterns being fully released. You will activate your galactic lineage, so you'll understand who the galactic counterparts of your spirit. So, you may have the Lyran aspect, or the Assyrian or the Pleiadian aspects of your spiritual frequencies activated, and you'll have a full understanding of that. We'll talk about that quite significantly. We'll also understand the priestess archetypes, and who you are, not to box you in, but to support you in your growth and on your journey. And of course, you will be building a sacred sisterhood for life.
And
And
you'll all,
sorry.
I'm sorry. You're gonna all be, so I am a womb keeper, which means that I have been initiated with the rite of the womb initiation. which is part of the Marcella Lobos lineage. So I'm going to be activating all of you and your womb space, because the womb is a place that we create and give birth. It's not a place where we hold wounds and trauma. So we'll be clearing that out and just really initiating you and the womb space. And then you will also all be womb keepers, that, if you do any ceremonies or sacred work, you can host these ceremonies as well.
Oh, I love that. Absolutely love that. Now, as a gift for attending the retreat, the crowns that Cheryl and I are making or holding will be available to you too. We will be gifting you your own crown to take home as a memory, as an activation point within your body to use in your own ceremonies and in your own work, in your own channeling, to, support you on your journey. And of course, it's a beautiful remembrance of where you got it from. Okay, so let's have a look at what's next. Your investment. The choice is yours, okay? You have the opportunity to share a room with others or have your own room. The price is depending on the room choice that you choose, and payment plans are available. So reach out to us if you are interested. Please reach out to us so that we can organize a payment plan for you if you need to. What do you get? Well, as we mentioned, you will have full 5 days with us. Those 5 days include all of those activations, those rituals. It includes all of your most nourishing, healthiest meals to keep and support or elevate your vibration, which is really, really super important when we're doing this kind of work. There is so much value to gain from this. If you felt the pull, trust it. We've said that so many times throughout today, but trust it. Cheryl, is there anything that you wanted to add in relation to this?
The only thing I really want to add is I'm really excited about our chef. It's all about the food. I'm so excited about our chef. She's plant-based, which I'm not a vegan, but her food is amazing. And she's also an herbalist. So she weaves in all these herbs, like she picks herbs on the mountain that she grows, and she puts them in all the food. She makes tinctures. She makes all these teas, and she'll have all of that available. All of her tinctures we can try, all of her teas we can try. Her food is amazing. Yeah, so, all the meals are included. If you do want to buy go to a restaurant when we're in town, you can do that, or otherwise she'll pack a meal for us.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is included in that. And like Sam said, there's different accommodations. There's a shared room with bunks. There's private rooms. There's shared rooms. So depending on, if you're traveling alone, or if you don't mind sharing, or you're traveling with somebody else, you want to share a room with a friend, we have different accommodations. And then right now we have an early bird special, which is $250 off. And we have that going until the end of, another week or so, until the 31st of December.
Yeah.
So if this is something that you think you want to do, take advantage of the early bird. And that can be applied to either pay in full or payment plan. It doesn't have to, it's not just for pay in full. So you can get the $250 off any of your accommodations. If you do pay in full, there is a pay in full bonus where you will receive a 90-minute Codes of Her session with Sam and a frequency mapping session with me. And we would do this after the retreat, really to help you to integrate and embody everything that you experienced on the mountain.
Yeah. And those sessions alone are just gold in themselves. Like, they're worth their weight in gold in that. And the other thing that we wanted to mention as well, if you refer a friend or bring a friend, You will also be able to receive a 30-minute one-to-one session with either myself or Cheryl, again, after the retreat, to support you in integrating and embodying your new frequencies. And that's just a small gift to say thank you for bringing a friend along to this powerful journey. Now, if you bring a friend and they're not as spiritual, totally fine. The energies meet you where you're at.
Mhm.
Will always meet you where you're at. And this is what I want people to understand when it comes to spiritual development. You can never exceed what you can't cope with. It may feel, sometimes it can feel heavy, sometimes it can feel so invigorating, but you will always receive, like the universe, your high self will always meet you where you're at. And that's the most crucial space or thing to remember. All right, so again, feel free to reach out to us if this is something that you are interested in. We will drop the email for you to contact us if you are interested. Otherwise, you can drop Temple in the chat right now, and we will personally reach out to you with details for the retreat. We would love to have you there.
And the email with the replay will have the link
Yes.
To the retreat, so you can, if you have any questions after we're done, and you're like, oh, I wanted to ask this, or I should have asked. See what's in the email, the link for the retreat, or you can always reach out to us or email us or message us. But we would love to have you join us. Look at us in the portal right there.
Yeah. I
Does
love this
anybody
photo.
have any questions? Anybody have any questions?
I love this photo of us while waiting for people to drop questions in. If you look at the very top up here, there's like what appears to be like a face and a presence hovering over the sun with us. And as you can see, like the rainbow frequencies. Now, this was taken off my phone. And you can see all the light codes around us, like this beautiful portal of frequency around us. And this is what happens after you receive activations up on the mountains. So we'll be taking you on lots of excursions over those few days. So we're not just in the house, we're visiting different portals and different sites over and throughout the mountain over these days. So we go higher and lower and visit lakes and visit rivers and forests. Yeah, there's just so much beautiful energy up there. So if you do feel the pull, feel free to join us. If there's any other questions, I've got nothing here. No, that's cool. All good. So again, if you feel the pull, if your body says yes, if you know that this is yours, trust that. And we'll see you at the mountain. Now you can see this other photo taken on another phone. You can see the light there. Wow. It's one of my most favorite photos as well. Just more portals, more frequencies. It's crazy what a phone can capture when you're in such a powerful place. It's so powerful. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this beautiful, beautiful presentation. We hope you really enjoyed it. We hope that you got something out of it. Even if you don't join us on the mountain, just know that you've received a grounding, you've received the connection, you received the codes through our activation and transmission today. And, things will change for you as a result, because the work we do is powerful, it's potent. So thank you again, Cheryl.
I just thank you for spending your time tonight with us, or this morning, wherever you're from. I'm just so grateful. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out. We'd love to have you join us.
Yeah,
in the energy of Mount Shasta.
Absolutely. Oh, so excited. I can't wait to fly all over the way, like all, to the other side of the world to do this. Like, that's just so fun. So fun. Amazing. Thank you very much for being here. And we look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.
Bye.